In this video, we will see how to have access for the different permissions given to the different individuals. For that, let's click on security. Let's move on to user master. From there, you will be able to find that these are the individuals to whom the different roles have been assigned, or you can say they have several permissions. The user IDs which starts with E, that means the IDs which have a prefix E are the IDs for the employees. The IDs which do not have any prefix or suffix, they are the students, and the IDs which have the prefix as P, they are the parents. You could also see the user type here. E stands for employee, which is a staff. This particular user is also staff. These are the students, okay, these are the parents, and this one is the super admin or admin. You could view the permissions that have been assigned to these individuals by clicking on the checkbox and then clicking on open. This is the user ID. This particular individual is a staff and he has the user role as a staff and default. Default is nothing but when the system is generated, then a default permission to all the individuals gets assigned. Say a school provides a notice on the website and it wishes that each individual of the institution, whether he's a staff, a student or a parent, would download the particular notice, then this default permission would give the access of downloading the same notice from the website. That means all the individuals related to the institution or the school, that is the parents, the students, the staffs, have a default permission to have a several access, okay. And this particular staff is permitted to have several access, and for that we need to choose the access. Let's say he could assign marks, okay, of session 2016 class 1 section A, okay. You could also create different permissions by clicking on the plus sign here, okay. Let's say he could also assign subjects for session 2016 class, let's say 2 section A, okay. He would have the permission to, let's say, manage the mark sheet of session 2016 standard 5 section A, okay. Since this staff had partial role, or let's say the partial access, so we would get few drop down menus here. That means if the staff has the full access, then this particular field would not appear here, okay. And if we choose as a partial, then you need to assign several or particular permissions that he would have access for. And once we are done with the assignment of the permission, we need to click on submit, Okay, you would find a note here that this ID is the employee ID for staffs, and for the students it is the examination ID. Okay, you could also change the password from here, the password of the user. Now we are done with the assignment of the permission or the access. We need to click on submit. Alright, say this particular employee ID we would use to log in, and we would see how this particular staff could use his login ID and his password to get the access. Okay, by using this particular ID we would log in to view the access. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so this was the ID. The password would be the date of birth of the individual, and if the individual is a parent, then the password would be the date of birth of the ward. So the staffs had these access permissions, that is, he had the access for several configurations. Okay, he had some access for the students too. Okay, he had several access for the documents, the reports, and the security. That means all the modules or all the permissions that he has access to would be shown here. That means if he has an access for configuration, students, document management, reports, security, then all these modules would highlight here. If the staffs wouldn't have the access for students, then this particular module would not appear here. In other words, the modules or the access points which are permitted for the staffs would only appear here. Now let's see how a parent can log in with the user ID. Okay, click on security, user master. This is the parent. Okay, the parents have been assigned several permissions. They have several access for their wards, and for that we need to log in with the user ID of the parent. Okay, let's log in with the parents user ID. The password would be the date of birth of their ward. See, the parents have only the access for the students. That means the parents have only the access to view the records of their wards, the fee collection and examination. Okay, and if the parents would have given the permission for other accessible point, then all those modules would be highlighted here. Since the parent has only the access for the students detail, so all the other modules have disappeared. Another point should be kept in mind that the admin role cannot be modified. Let me show you. This is the admin. This shows that this user cannot be modified. That means the admin has all the permissions, has all the access, hence he has been already assigned the access for each and every role, so his role cannot be modified.